LeBron James is out indefinitely following a high ankle sprain that he suffered in the Lakers' loss to the Atlanta Hawks over the weekend. I don't think it was a dirty play. Solomon Hill was trying to track down a loose ball, and instead of the ball, he found all of LeBron's ankle. LeBron went to the ground screaming in pain, a sight that we rarely see. A sight that we see often is LeBron getting up and playing on, but a couple plays after LeBron was like, I ain't got it, I got to roll, he left the game. And another sight that we rarely see in LeBron's illustrious career, he left the game and did not return, and he is now out indefinitely. Just from what I've seen in the past with high ankle sprains, they're very tough to judge. It a lot of times depends on the person, but more or less we're talking about an injury that will take weeks to heal versus days to heal. My assumption, LeBron will be back with the Lakers between 2 to 4 weeks. I would say probably 3 weeks will be the most optimistic approach, knowing what LeBron puts into his body. We know this is a bummer for LeBron James, who was clearly in the thick of an MVP chase. For some odd reason, the media had him as the front runner for the MVP award. I did not, but it looked like LeBron James was on his way, because a lot of the media who votes for this award, it looks like he was on his way to collecting his 5th MVP of his career. Unfortunately, with him missing time, it'll probably go to Nikola Jokic or Damian Lillard, or we'll see what happens with James Harden here down the stretch when KD comes back, or if Joel Embiid is able to return in the next couple of weeks. We shall see, but it looks like LeBron's MVP chase is over. I'm sure he's very upset. It's his 18th season. He's 36 years of age. It would have been a huge accomplishment for King James as he's trying to continue to add to that legacy. For me, though, the most disappointing part of LeBron James' injury is not the fact that he won't win the MVP award. Look, 4 MVPs is great enough for a legacy. He should be more worried about finals MVPs at this point in his career, because at the end of the day, he will be end-all be-all judged by championships. The one thing I couldn't get out of my mind as soon as I saw LeBron James go down was the workload that he had on himself this year. I know he calls himself the king. I get it. But for me, even a king needed a queen. Even a king needed somebody at some point to dethrone him, needed somebody to take over. There was always a prince climbing the ladder if there's a king at the top. And we all thought that the prince about to become the new king was Lakers star forward Anthony Davis, fresh off of what I thought to be was an MVP season last year for the Lakers. I thought he was their MVP, won his first championship of his career. It looked like Anthony Davis was set on taking the reins from LeBron as the Lakers' new number one, as LeBron slowly but effectively starts to fade into that number 2 role with the Lakers and just let AD take over the roster. That has not been the case thus far in this 2020-21 NBA season. Health has not been on AD's side. To be fair to Anthony Davis and the Lakers, they're coming off of the shortest offseason in history due to COVID, playing in a bubble late into the fall. But I got to be real with you guys. I know they had a short offseason. I'm very disappointed in Anthony Davis. I believe Anthony Davis is the latest superstar to fail LeBron James. As great as LeBron has been, in my humble opinion, his number 2s have been somewhat disappointing. Let's start it off. LeBron starts his career off in Cleveland. There is no comparable number 2. As a matter of fact, maybe you thought his number 2 was Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He's not a top 200 player all time. Mo Williams, he's not a top 400 player of all time. Or Delonte West. I'm happy that the brother's able to get his mental health together at this point in his life. But let's call a spade a spade. He's not a top 1,000 player of all time. First few years of his career passes by. LeBron says, I'm taking my talents to Miami. He joins a guy by the name of Dwayne Wade. And they also bring along another guy whose name is Chris Bosh. The first season between LeBron and D Wade, we got healthy. 2 top 10 guys in the league at the time. Some would argue 2 top 5 guys. They lose to the Dallas Mavericks. But after that first year in Miami, we never seen a clear-cut, healthy Dwayne Wade again. Now, the Heat were able to win 2 championships because at the end of the day, Unhealthy Dwayne Wade is still better than most of the league. And then obviously Chris Bosh was a perennial all-star. The Heat won the next 2 championships. But I'm speaking about Dwayne Wade. LeBron comes around, and to me, Dwayne Wade got a tad bit lazy. According to multiple reports, including Brian Windhorst, it was at times when LeBron James found out on game day that Dwayne Wade would not be playing oftentimes during that Miami Heat tenure. You're telling me the best player in the league knew moments before a tip-off that his second guy wasn't playing? Yeah, that kind of summarizes the Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh era in Miami. It was good, not great. 2 out of 4 is not bad. No one's complaining, but many of us expected 3 out of 4. Hell, some of us thought they win 4 straight. They did not. Ironically, as LeBron was on his way out of Miami, his number 3, Chris Bosh, obviously we know this is like a freak accident, suffered a blood clot. His career shortly after ended. Ironically as well, Dwayne Wade went on to play in Chicago, where he was okay, but he ended up back in Miami, where I thought we saw as good a Dwayne Wade that was taking much care of his body towards the end of his career than what he was when he had LeBron James and Chris Bosh next to him. Okay, LeBron leaves Miami. He takes his talents back to Cleveland, and where he finds Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. The first year, 2015, the Cavs get to the playoffs. They're rolling. Kevin Love breaks his arm in the first round of the playoffs. Cavs still advance to the finals because it's LeBron and Kyrie in the East. That's more than enough talent to get it done. They get to the finals. Game 1, Kyrie goes down. LeBron almost beats the Warriors by his dang self. He does not accomplish that goal. The storyline is what could have been if LeBron had a healthy group. Many, including me, believe that the Cavaliers would have took care of the Warriors in 5 games if they were healthy. That's neither here nor there. Year 2 of the LeBron-led Cleveland Cavalier group with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love as his co-stars, they won a championship in 7 games. Ironically, that was the only year that everyone was healthy physically and mentally. You're asking me, what do I mean by mentally? Year 3 comes around in Cleveland. Kyrie and Kevin Love are banged up every other night, missing games throughout the regular season. LeBron is able to keep this team afloat. They limp into the postseason. Looks like Bron and Kyrie got it together, but afterwards we find out at some point in time during the 2017 run, Kyrie stopped talking to his teammates. Hence why I said earlier, it wasn't just physical injuries that LeBron was dealing with. Apparently, Kyrie Irving checked out on the Cavaliers mentally. I don't look at that as a healthy roster. So you get an unhealthy mentally Kyrie Irving. You got Kevin Love, who we now found out was battling with depression, playing alongside LeBron James. Tyronn Lue going through it, had to take some time off in the season. You put all that together with King James, you get your behinds handed to you by a newly joined Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors. Following year, Kyrie Irving demands a trade. Your number 2 is now Kevin Love. He's banged up again. So far, still no healthy co-stars for LeBron James. The one year that he had a healthy 2, he won a championship. Except that year when the Miami he lost to Dallas. I'll give you that one. No excuses there. LeBron goes to LA. The first year is a failure. LeBron even gets hurt. And then you fast forward to the next year that LeBron's got a healthy star, which is Anthony Davis, and LeBron's first year together in Los Angeles. He wins a championship. Now it's year 3 for LeBron in LA. AD has pretty much missed most of the season. He's out. LeBron feels the pressure to try to go out and keep his Lakers team, in which he still has championship aspirations afloat. I'm not blaming Anthony Davis for this injury, but it kind of, to me, in my humble opinion, is Anthony Davis' fault. If LeBron had a healthy number 2, obviously I know that Solomon Hill injury was a freak accident. In my opinions, it probably doesn't happen because LeBron's probably taking some time off. Maybe his ankles are in a lot better condition at this point in the season, and he's not carrying the Lakers on his shoulders. Catch full new episodes of FERRO's music-based platform every day only on YouTube at It's Mr. Taliaferro. You can also find clips, updates, giveaways, and more on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, also at It's Mr. Taliaferro. For all basketball fans, make sure you tune in to FERRO's daily highlights, reports, and commentary on YouTube at FERRO, and even more updates on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at FERRO as well.